Okay, this is a reaction video. This is from Walter's World. Dumb mistakes tourists make in Los Angeles. And, well, the first mistake you would make in Los Angeles is actually going there, in my opinion, because LA is a hellhole. But that's my opinion, okay? Everybody thinks LA is this wonderful place, this utopia. Who've never been there before. This great, lush, drive around and, the top down, wind blowing your hair, 80 miles an hour down the freeway, go to the beach, go to this, go do that. Not like that. But anyway, dumb mistakes tourists make in Los Angeles. Like I said, please click like, share, and subscribe for Walter's World, and like, share, and subscribe for Scott Dover's Interesting World. But let's see what this has to offer for us.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in LA on Venice Beach. And today what we have for you are some of the little mistakes that tourists make when they come here to LA. Because this is such a large city, that means there's a lot of opportunities for you to mess up. And we do have a...
Okay, I've never done one of those LA tours before, but you saw an In-N-Out Burger there in the La Brea Tar Pits. I've been there before.
More serious don'ts of LA video that I do recommend you watch to give you a more, robust feel of the bigger issues. This is for those little things you might not have thought of when you do come here to LA. And I think I need to start with that, with the first mistake I see tourists make. They don't realize how large LA is. I mean, this place is huge. I mean, you could literally be in the car for an hour.
Los Angeles is the second biggest city in the United States. And, yeah, it's spread out. And there is so... You would literally need... I don't know how much... Southern California, and if you talk about something, you're talking about Los Angeles, San Diego, and all that good stuff. But LA is just vast. It's just amazingly spread out, and there's so much to do there. But again, like I said, it's a hellhole now. So
going from one side of the city to the other side of the city. I mean, you're staying here in Santa Monica, and you want to go to Disneyland? That could end up taking you 90 minutes when it's bad traffic. I mean, the city is...
When it's bad traffic, it's always bad traffic.
Huge, and you need to plan accordingly. So what you should do when you come here, plan out seeing kind of regions of town at a time. Like maybe put Hollywood and Beverly Hills together for a day, and put Santa Monica and Venice Beach together for a day. And you do, maybe you do the La Brea Tar Pits and the museums down there together, and you match that with something. Because by doing that, you're limiting your time spent traveling, okay? Because going between places, you're going to waste a lot of time, so don't waste it. Enjoy as much as you can by really focusing on a neighborhood or an area or a region of the city, and then focus on that for a day, and then the next...
My dad grew up in Southern California. He grew up in North Hollywood. And I went to the Venice canals about a couple years ago with my cousin who lives in Culver City, and my dad never been to the Venice canals. Okay, never did. In fact, was unaware they existed, and he lived there for about over 25 years. So, it's amazing how big Los Angeles is and how many things you can do. He never did. I did the La Brea Tar Pits. He's never did the La Brea Tar Pits, and you'd think it's something that somebody in LA would have done, but not him.
Next day, do a different part of the town. And when you are going around town, another mistake I see tourists make is they don't really read the parking signs. Look, finding parking is not always easy, but since this is really a driving city, there's at least parking a lot of places, whether it's valet or on the street, and I think it's really important that you don't forget to read the signs.
15 minutes, 15 minutes, $2.25, the maximum to $22.50. So, yeah. Each 15 minutes, that's the parking rate. It's $2.25 just to park your car for 15 minutes.
Sometimes when you go up and read the parking sign, well, you need to bring your glasses to read it, and then you need maybe to have a dictionary to interpret what they mean, and then maybe have an astronomical clock or astrology sign things to figure it all out. Because look, the parking system here and the parking timing stuff can be a bit confusing. And don't worry, if you mess up, they'll definitely give you a ticket, so you don't have to worry about that if you mess up. But it is worth it to go and try to figure out, can I really park here at this time, or how long I can park here at this time, because they do check that right away, and I don't want you to have, a $60, $70 parking fine sitting on there adding up. You don't need that kind of souvenir when you travel.
Yeah, make no mistake, they will give you the ticket. Okay, they live to give you that ticket.
And when you are driving around, I think the next mistake tourists make when they come here is really underestimating the traffic. I mean, I know you see the videos. I know you've seen the Mike Don'ts videos and all kinds of stuff. We talk about the traffic in LA is so horrible. Look, it's not a joke. I mean, this is in every single one of my videos when it comes.
My cousin lives about, I want to say, and he may, criticize me for this or correct me of this, but there's a place, and it's a pretty famous place called Randy's Donuts, and you know it because you've seen it in movies where the big giant donut. Okay, it's basically about, I want to say, from where I am right now. If I were to estimate, probably about like one exit over, probably about from where I'm at, like maybe a 10-minute drive, if that. But getting in but it's not within walking distance. You'd have to take a car to get there from where he lives. Okay, but to get to Randy's Donuts, literally 10-15 minute drive at best, where I'm at, about 45 minutes to an hour just to go maybe 5 miles. So that's, traffic in LA is no joke.
LA. Traffic is insane, and people always underestimate it. But in terms of that, they underestimate the time they're going to need to get to different spots. Okay, it may be 20 minutes to get there according to Google, but then when you actually drive, it takes you 6.
That's what it looks like. That's what you're looking at. That congestion all up, amazing. They even made lanes, like diamond lanes, where if you have more than two people, one person in the car, you have 2 or 3 people, you can take that as a way to speed things up. Yeah, right.
60? What happened? Well, traffic happened. LA happened. Rush hour happened. A car accident happened. Something happened. So just make sure you're planning accordingly. So if you got to get out to LAX, you got to get your flight home, don't be cutting it close with your departure.
In Columbus, Ohio, where I'm at, if you're going to the airport, okay, if my plane leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning, I can leave here at 5:30, okay, and not worry. I can actually leave at 5:45, maybe even 6 o'clock, and still not have a problem making it there to my flight on time. If I left at that time to go to LAX, an hour and a half, I'd be cutting it close. Okay,
From your hotel. Give yourself that leeway, because I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of people that miss their flight at LA because they didn't plan accordingly. And it's not like you should be surprised about the traffic here, because the people at check-in will be like, hey, it's LA. We got traffic all the time. Be prepared for it. Another few mistakes I see tourists make come when they're packing to come to LA. Okay, one is people forget to bring their sunglasses and sunblock. No matter what time you come here, you're going to need some sun protection, all right? So bring the sunblock with you. Lather it up. If you don't, there's plenty of Walgreens and CVS's around here that sell, sunblock, so you can put on your sun protection, have your hat, your glasses. I mean, you walk around, you see everybody's got their shades on. Just be like the locals. Wear your shades, okay? But another thing that people make a mistake on is not packing a long sleeve shirt or a light jacket or a pair of pants. I know, we think LA, oh, it's always sunny and beautiful every day.
I have never done that, to be fair. Now, granted, I've been in LA in February. I've been in LA in the winter months in the United States, and it's not. You don't necessarily need long pants. You can survive with just shorts, but it's not a bad idea to have them. He's not wrong here.
All the time, it's no problem. Well, here's the thing: going from the beach to the hills over there, you're going to have fluctuations in temperature. Day versus night, fluctuations in temperature. So coming with just t-shirts and shorts and flip-flops isn't going to cut it in the evening time. Obviously, especially when it comes to winter. I mean, it does get chilly here. So don't forget, just throw 1/4 zip in, throw something in just for that winter chill or the evening chill, because it does happen. Now, another mistake that I saw when I was at LAX is people didn't know which bus to get on to go where they needed to go.
My recommendation, if you're going to LAX, get an Uber. Get a taxi, get an Uber. If you rent a car, fine. But don't get on a bus, okay? I would just Uber, because the people who do the Ubers and do the taxis, they know exactly where to go, and you get there a lot better. Now, I have a cousin who knows this place, so I don't have to worry about any of that. But that's what I would recommend.
Look, if you're flying to LAX, ask your hotel if they have a shuttle service. If they do, ask them specifically where you need to go. Because you'll get like a vague explanation, like, no, I really need to know. I'll be in Terminal 2. Where do I need to be? Find that out so you don't get on the wrong bus. Also, if you're trying to find where the parking is, if you have your car parked somewhere, or if you're looking for the rental car things or the Uber lots, it's easy to walk in the wrong bus when you're coming out there. And the thing is, all the bus drivers that are taking people to different lots are glad to take you. But once you get there, they're like, oh, this isn't the right one. Too bad. I'm heading back in 15 minutes. You can just wait, and then I'll take you back to the terminal. Not always easy to get back to the terminal and find the right thing. So make sure before you hop on one of those buses outside of LAX, you know you're going to the right spot. Now,
probably one of the biggest things that I've said this before in other videos, and do your research. Find out where you're going. Find out the day before when you check in, 24 hours, you check in, what gate am I going out of? And then get the alerts to let you know when it changes. So LAX is not difficult to navigate by any stretch of the imagination. But he is right. You can go to the wrong place, and that could be a problem, especially in a busy airport like LAX.
Now, my next mistake I see tourists make is thinking that they have to rent a car. And I'll be honest, when I was doing my research coming to LA, I mean, literally 90% of the blogs and videos are saying, oh, make sure you rent a car. Look, you don't have to rent a car when you're here. Okay, Uber, Lyft will take you all you want to go to. There's taxis that'll go places. The subway, actually, if you're going to places the subway goes, is cheap, affordable, and easy to use. The bus.
Never used the subway in LA. I never used the bus. Like I said, I have a cousin who lives out there, so I've got my own chauffeur, technically speaking. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rent a car. Well, it really depends on where you're going. Okay, because if you're going out, say, like I went to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. That's way out of LA. You need a car to get out there. And they're like going up the Pacific Coast Highway. So maybe renting a car is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, especially if you want to go with the PCH, because that's definitely worth the trip.
I would kind of avoid those. They're not really super helpful. But honestly, you don't need a car when you're here. As much as it's a car-centric city, honestly, with the headaches that come with driving around here and getting the wrong turns and the traffic jams and the insane drivers and the road rage and everything, just maybe don't rent a car. It's okay. And I think another reason why people want to rent a car is because, look, I'm going to stay in one spot and I'll have one accommodation. I'll just keep driving out from there. Well, that's a mistake I think people make, is they just stay in one accommodation during their time in LA. Look, if you're going to be here for a week or 10 days, I would definitely split it up. Okay? Come stay down here by the beaches in Santa Monica, right down there.
That's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'm not sure that I would do something like that. I've never, if I've ever been to splitting it up, I guess makes sense in Los Angeles. If you're anyplace else, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But in Los Angeles, I guess it does because of of the traffic out there.
There you go, Huntington Beach, Venice Beach. Like, have a base here, see the things around here, okay? And then when you're going to do your Disneyland trip, or you're going to go to Knott's Berry Farm, maybe get accommodation out there, because that's kind of far. I mean, it could take you with bad traffic. It'd take you an hour or more to get out of there. So you might want to check into like splitting your accommodation, because you don't have to stay in one spot, because this city is so big, like I talked about, it could just be wasting your time. Now, another mistake I want to tell you is going to deal specifically with those amusement parks, whether it's a Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm. I know this one from experience, is not scheduling a pickup if you're going to stay towards the late night kind of stuff at the amusement parks. Because it's not like you're downtown or one of the entertainment districts around town. You're out at an amusement park, and they have to go drive out to you. Sometimes it's hard to get that Uber or get that Lyft. I mean, hopefully they'll come eventually, but do you really want to have to wait 30 minutes? So what I would recommend is actually scheduling that pickup. I'm here, I'm going to go to, Knott's Scary Farm at night and take that in, but I'm making sure that, hey, it's open till 1 a.m., but I'm going to have an Uber scheduled to pick me up at midnight so I know I can get home. Now, another mistake I see people...
That's something I'm not worried a whole lot about. I'll let him talk about that. Like I said, I wouldn't go to an amusement park out in Los Angeles. Not that I don't desire to see Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm or even Legoland or whatever they have out there, but it's so expensive out there. That's one thing I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but everything is so expensive out in Los Angeles. You better have saved up your dough if you're going to go out in Los Angeles.
People make is jaywalking, and you'll see this one talked about a lot. And I don't say it's a mistake to jaywalk because you're going to get a ticket. I'm saying it's a mistake to jaywalk because of your safety. Because people here drive fast, they drive crazy, they go.
And this, to be fair, it's also assuming the roads are clear. Okay, if the roads are like they normally are, you can jaywalk to all the live long day.
Is the light ready to go? Are they going on the shoulder to get around congestion? You really got to be careful when you're walking the streets here in LA. So just wait for the walk sign, but also before you start walking, look to make sure someone's not trying to make the light coming from the other direction. And I think another thing is when you're driving around and you're seeing LA, another mistake people make is not knowing the different neighborhoods that are around here. Because I'll be honest, not all neighborhoods in LA are places you should be going, okay? And what I've found is actually the concierges and the front desk people have been very helpful to say, look, these are the neighborhoods not to go to.
People talk about South Central Los Angeles. Well, South Central Los Angeles is a huge place, okay? Yeah, there are neighborhoods you want to avoid in Los Angeles. It's like any other place. There are good places, there are bad places. Now, right now, one of the big problems that you hear about Los Angeles is the homeless problem. And you also have a lot of things going on like that out there. But yeah, it's best to avoid those places. Well, like any other place. There are bad places, there are good places. And you generally would know where you're going to go if you go to Los Angeles. It's so important to do research before you go out there.
So what you should do is talk to your concierge, talk to your front desk, and tell them, these are the places we're going to go. Do we need to watch out for anything? And they'll let you know, oh, you're going to be downtown. Hey, watch out for Skid Row. There's some issues there. Oh, you're going to be going out to Disney. Well, on your drive out there, you might want to check this out. They'll be helpful with that. But honestly, having a GPS to make sure you're not going the wrong way is super helpful here. And the thing is, GPS is great for knowing the streets, but it's another great street thing when you come to LA, and it's a mistake people make, is they don't eat the street food. Look, street tacos are fantastic. The
food out in Los Angeles is worth it. At In-N-Out Burgers and street food and street tacos. I haven't had a lot of the street food, but there's a place out there that I like called I forgot it. It's one of the best places where I go get my tacos. I'll go there before I go to In-N-Out Burger. What's the name of it? You can see it on. I forget it out. Maybe I'll remember it.
Food trucks that they have here throughout LA, all over the place, have really wonderful food at usually wonderful prices, especially compared to the restaurants. So don't be scared to walk up or belly up to that minibus to grab yourself a burrito or a taco. And the thing is going along with the street food, I think another mistake tourists make is not experimenting with food when they come to LA. Look, I know Del Taco and In-N-Out Burger are a thing here in California. But in LA, there is so much international cuisine and excellent...
There's a Del Taco in Columbus, Ohio.
Excellent international cuisine you can have.
But not an In-N-Out Burger.
Go and try some new stuff.
Tito's Tacos. That's what I was thinking about. Tito's Tacos. That's where I go to get my tacos. Oh, my God. When we flew in from Las Vegas, my cousin said, we can go to In-N-Out Burger. I said, no, we're going to Tito's.
Haven't tried before because the food is awesome. Just get out of your comfort zone when you try food, because in LA, it's going to be really good. So you're going to get the best of that international cuisine, of that new cuisine, and then you'll really know if it's something you like.
Pink's Hot Dog is also where you want to go, and if you can find it, Cupid's.
Try and you don't like it, look, the best place in the world where they cook doesn't make it very well, then it's probably not for you. But don't forget to kind of explore your culinary palate when you're here in LA. Now, you might hear the airplanes flying overhead because LAX is right down the way from us here. And flying is another mistake I see people make when they come here. And I think my mistake with that is not checking to see all of the airports around LA. Look, it's not just LAX that you can fly into here, but I'm not going to lie to you. The prices to fly into LAX versus going to Burbank or another one of the airports around here is significantly cheaper. Okay, so if you're going to be flying in, it can save you money flying into there. But it's a mistake not to at least look and check some of the different airports, because you're going to go.
And again, this goes down to research. We fly it. I generally fly into LAX. It's closer. It's easier for my cousin. But yeah, there are other airports in Southern California that you can fly into.
Just to Disney, you're going to be going to the north side of LA and you're staying up in the valley. It might be cheaper for you overall in terms of getting that Uber or that taxi going to the north side from LAX versus flying in and then getting a taxi from a northern part of the city, airport. And just go and check. I mean, just put, when you're looking for your flights, don't put LAX in, put Los Angeles in, and it'll give you a range of airports you can fly from, okay? Just one of those things, because it could just be a lot easier to deal with. Then there is the mistake of when you are walking either here in Venice Beach, you'll have buskers here, or you're on Hollywood Boulevard, and you have the buskers, the street performers there.
Ah, yeah. You have the street performers, and they'll jump into your photo, like thinking that you want the picture with them, and not realizing that they are doing that for money. They want a tip. If Spider-Man, Darth Vader, Captain America, or Mickey Mouse here, whoever the hell wants to take a picture with you, they're going to jump in there and they're going to expect a tip.
And you take their picture and you want to give them a tip. And this is a mistake I saw a few tourists have yesterday when I was in Hollywood. They were trying to tip a 20 and they're like, "Do you have change?" The guy's like, "Oh, no, I don't have any change." So they just gave him a 20. Look, have some singles, have some $5 bills. If you're going to take those pictures, you can tip them that and not worry about them not being able to break your 20 or your 50 when you are here. Just a mistake that poor family I saw the other day do. So just FYI for that. And I think my last mistake I want to talk about when you come to LA is when we think of LA, we think of Hollywood, we think of Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive, we think of the Brea tar pits and the museums, we think of this culture and all this stuff, but sometimes we forget about the nature. And yes,
okay, that is a good thing. Good point. There is a lot of nature. Driving through Mulholland, driving through all these different places, there's a lot to see other than what he's just talking about there. There is a lot of nature in California, in Southern California.
that is a mistake people make, is they forget about the nature around LA. People from LA love going out. They love going biking and hiking. There's canyons you can go to. There's hills you can hike in. Heck, if you go to the Griffith Observatory, there's a park there you can wander through. But get out and explore the nature when you're here. It's not just a city vacation. And the water, that might be a mistake getting in the water because it's really, really chilly when you're here, just FYI. But just going out and enjoying the outdoor space, the outdoor adventures you can have when you're here. I mean, even if you're just hopping on a ferry and going over to Santa Catalina Island, it's worth it, okay? So what are some of the mistakes that you've made as a tourist here coming to visit LA? Let us know in the comment section below so other tourists can learn from these mistakes so they can have a better time. And honestly, go watch our video on the don'ts of visiting LA because it's going to give you a lot more safety tips and more like higher level, like, okay, I feel much more prepared. This is one of those more fun, like, hey, let's little things you might not have thought of mistakes. So,
okay, and I said at the beginning of the video, don't go to Los Angeles, all that stuff like that, because of it's a hellhole. And there's a part of me that thinks that there are a lot of good things about Los Angeles. To be fair, there's a lot of good things about visiting it. I recommend, if you do, trying the food, experiencing the nature and things like that. Going on a ride on the Pacific Coast Highway, driving up that, going to Venice Beach. There are a lot of great things about Los Angeles that I do love, and I love going there. And I will go back there to visit my cousin because we enjoy it. And I've been to LA Coliseum and watched Real Madrid play Manchester City there one time, and gone to the LA Galaxy games and so forth. I've been to the Rose Bowl. A lot of great things about Los Angeles and Southern California and Anaheim in that area. But again, thanks for Walter's World. Please click like, share, and subscribe for him, as well as like, share, and subscribe for Scott Dover's Interesting World. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.